podcast, you will find what we're knitting, what we finished, crazy things that happened, especially, why do I smell like feta cheese?
Yeah. Why do you smell like feta cheese?
Also, contest winners and new contests. Yes, and we have a special guest, Peggy Doney from the 100th Sheep.
Yeah.
And we talk about a new yarn shop we found with lovely girls from Scotland, right?
So much fun.
We tried mimicking a Scotland accent, it didn't work.
It'll be great. But no, still can't do it.
A little piratey.
Yeah.
So for this and much more, stay tuned for the Knitworthy podcast.
3, 2, 1. I don't have anything else. I've used up all my things.
We really have to get the what comes after 3, 2, 1 in, don't we?
We really do. I need to start thinking about that before I say 3. I think
that would be good.
Yeah.
So, some forethought for the podcast is always a good thing, right?
No, not at all.
Hey, guess what?
What?
We should probably welcome people to the podcast.
We should. Welcome to the Knitworthy podcast. How are you guys doing today?
Hello. Hey, you know, this is how they know that it's all spontaneous and live, right?
Yes.
Because it's never the same.
No.
Never know what you're going to get.
We think we have a plan, and then we press the play button or the record button.
It's like the erase button for our brain. Record means erase what's in your mind.
And then that's it. And then we look at the camera and go, I don't know.
Yep. It's an overcast day, so we're going to be a tad on the dim side. But you know what's so wonderful about this day? It's moisture.
Yes.
It's a little bit cooler, though I still have my fan on. And we saw fall color at the when we were picking up mail. Did you see that tree?
It was beautiful. In fact, you had me take a picture of it. Did it turn out?
It did.
It did?
Let's pop it in right here. Yeah, so it really felt like the first, we've been seeing things, you know, starting to yellow, but that was really the first tree I saw that had just burst into color.
Yes.
So that was fun.
That was fun. I did enjoy seeing that. You know, I saw, of course, more of it when we were on our St. Louis trip. And so, you know, that was...
It's more north of us than it has been down here. Okay.
Yeah. So I got to see a little bit more of it. Not, you know, like it wasn't in full swing or anything, but, you know, I got to see the hints of the beginning of fall color.
Oh, I love it. That is so fun.
Makes me so happy.
Me too.
Yeah.
And so after we had stopped at the mailbox and saw the beautiful fall color, we had to meet the cable guy.
Yes. His name is Mike, not Larry, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah. Okay. And so I'm downstairs minding my own business because Brianne was getting hooked up upstairs so hubby can watch baseball games.
He's very excited about this.
He's a big fan.
Very excited.
Minding my own business. And Brianne says, may I come down with cable guy? Because down in the basement area where I am,
yes,
is where all the cable connections are. So I'm like, sure, come on down. And Brianne's got this look on her face. And I'm like, okay, why is it so odd to be bringing cable guy down? We know he's coming to do this and everything. Right. She comes over and tosses a pair of underwear in my lap.
Now, okay.
You tossed underwear in my lap.
Okay, I didn't, first of all, I did not toss it. I tucked it between, she had like her knees up, kind of like, you know, oh, you can't see my legs. What am I doing?
I'm really turning red now, aren't I?
You are. But I kind of tucked them, like wedged them where he couldn't see. And
I'm like, what in the heck? Why are you walking around with my underwear when the cable guy's here? So
I found them on the stairs. Apparently they must have dropped because our laundry room is on the 3rd floor. You know, where the Keene family resides, because we share a house. And so
did he see them is what I want to know. How stealth were you when you found them?
I grabbed them because, you know,
How do you be stealth with picking underwear up off the floor?
You know, you can only be so stealth. I don't know if he thought that they were socks or what, but it was apparent it was small. So there are only a couple of articles of clothing that you wear that are small. So, you know.
But they weren't small, trust me. Oh my goodness, did he say anything?
He didn't say anything, no. I just said, oh, pardon me for my laundry on the stairs. And he goes, oh, that's okay. You know, I'd already picked up a couple things off the stairs anyway, so it was no big deal.
Word. Yeah, that was a tad embarrassing. But not as embarrassing as when I was in my working days, when I lived out in California, and I used to wear a dress, which I haven't worn for years. Haven't worn a dress for years, I think. But I had gone to the bathroom and was returning to the office, and the Sparklets man was behind me.
Like the bottled water guy.
Oh yeah, I should say, because not everybody knows what Sparklets is. It's the bottled water man, and the office had bottled water delivered to it. And all of a sudden, I start feeling awfully drafty. Awfully. Yes, my skirt was tucked completely in my nylons with my bottom showing.
I hope you were wearing underwear that day.
I was. Beware water delivery people everywhere. If windows around, you might want to avert your eyes. You never know. I just have a way of exposing the underbelly of Linda.
There you go.
Good stuff.
It is good stuff.
But this is a podcast about knitting.
It sure is.
So I suppose we should actually get on to the content.
I noticed that you're wearing something beautifully knitted.
I am, and I am finally getting to wear it because it's been too warm. It was a gift from my good friend, Miss Peggy Doney from the 100th Sheep. If you've watched the podcast for any length of time, you've heard that name over and over. But look at how lovely this is. I went to go and be a part of an event. I'm going to forget the name of it. Yarn Fest.
Okay.
That
was from Interweave, right? Interweave the
Yes.
Yes.
It was our first time in I think it was Loveland, Colorado area, and it was really a fun thing. And she just blessed me with being able to be a part of it and see. I'd never been to anything like it. And of course, because she's being kind to me and letting me come out and be a part of it with her, she also gives me a gift. Because apparently that's what she does. But this is beautifully done. You can see it's a thick and thin yarn, and I'm pretty sure, I don't think she spun this. She's not a chunky spinner. She spins beautifully fine yarns, but they're artistic yarns usually. And look, but she dyed this as far as I know, and it's lovely fall colors, and so I thought, let's wear it. And also, in honor of the fact that she's going to be our guest today.
Yay!
So, anyway, I'm looking forward to being able to introduce all of you to my good friend Peggy from the 100th Sheep. I've also been begging and pleading that Tabitha's Heart, who is also my other good friend, that she would do a video for me too. Yeah. Don't you think that even if you can't convince anyone else to come and be our guest, surely your friends should come?
Yeah.
So don't feel any pressure, Tabitha. But this is a call out. Come on now.
And not just a call out for Tabitha, but a call out for basically anybody.
Yes. And I had put the message on the thread, where the Be Our Guest thread, and I had ear-burned everybody who had ever said that they were interested in being our guest. And I said, instead of just doing you an order, it's just make a video and send it, and we'll work them in.
That's right.
Because I did not want to have people waiting a year to get on.
No.
That's just too long.
It is way too long.
Things in your life change. You might change your mind. Get shy all of a sudden.
True.
So, please be our guests. Send us videos. We love hearing from you.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
But, so that's what I'm wearing. Boy, a lot to say about, I'm wearing this beautiful hand knit scarf.
Yeah. Isn't it a cowl?
Oh, it's a cowl. It's a cowl.
I'm knitting this beautiful hand knit sweater.
Well, it could be actually for you, but
no.
Just making a sweater out of fingering yarn.
Yes. So, I'm not wearing anything knitted today.
What?
I know. I forgot.
I don't know. I'm not going to shame you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Please don't shame me.
I won't.
Yes. But I do have a lot of things that I've been working on.
And I am impressed. Let's hear it.
Okay, so the first thing that I'm working on, first of all, I have to tell you, I kind of, after the time that we podcasted, I went on a little bit of a yarn winding binge. And I kind of planned out the next several projects that I wanted to knit on.
Fun.
Went digging through my stash and found fun things. And just like wound up 7 skeins of yarn.
What? Really?
Yeah, for 7 individual projects.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Thank you. Yeah. So one of the skeins of yarn that I wound up was this beautiful skein. Look at this.
Lovely. Is that sparkle?
It is.
Hey, what yarn is that?
That is Wool Sunday, who we love, Wool Sunday Yarn Parlor. This is her Parfait Sock with Sprinkles. It's a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, and 438 yards. And this is the round and round colorway, which this just makes me so incredibly happy. I'm going to cover up your face so it'll...
Oh, go for it.
There you go.
Hey, why hasn't she sent us a video?
I don't know.
We know her.
We do.
We know real live people, not
we
just
do.
internet people.
You're getting a little aggressive on the call-outs, I'm just going to say.
Am I? Is it getting hostile now?
It's getting a little hostile.
Someone better send a video.
Tone it down.
What?
Tone it down.
What? That makes people...
Send us a video!
People are scared now. Oh, no. I haven't finished my coffee. I get a little aggressive before I mellow out with coffee.
It's true. She's not ready to adult before she's had coffee.
Let's try it.
I saw this this meme the other day that said, without coffee, I'm basically a 2-year-old without its blanket.
Oh, that's bad.
Uh-huh.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah.
What does meme mean?
It's
totally misdirecting everything here because I have no clue.
It's just one of those little, you know, like pictures that you see with writing on them on the interwebs.
And what does it stand for?
I don't know.
Why is it called meme?
That's just what it is.
Okay.
I didn't name it.
I think you should call it Fred.
Okay.
Okay.
I found a Fred the other day.
We go. Here's a call out because I'm all about inviting participation today, apparently.
Yeah.
If you know what the meaning of meme is, how do you even spell it?
M-E-M-E.
Okay.
Yeah. So, back to my sock.
It's going to be one of those podcasts.
Yes, it is. Oh my goodness. So these are going to be some socks for Ailish because as soon as I saw the yarn, how it was knitting up and the sparkles, and she saw the yarn. Mama, those are beautiful socks. This is how she talks. I'm not like mocking her or anything. This is how she talks.
Very high voice.
Mama, those are beautiful socks. Who are those for? And I said, well, these are for you.
Of course. Oh, sweet voice.
Yes. And so she is going to be getting these socks. I don't know when they'll be done, but, you know, she'll get them when she gets them, and she's going to love them. So I think what I'm going to end up doing, though, is I'm going to make a longer sock, but a tube sock. I'm not going to put a heel in.
Oh, okay.
So that she
have
can
you
wear...
done that before?
I have not.
Okay.
But I'm hoping that she'll be able to wear it for longer that way.
You know, it totally makes sense for kids, don't you think?
Yes, I think it does. So I'm excited to see it, you know, how it continues to knit up. It's not pooling or flashing or anything. It's just really, really fun. I just love how it's knitting up and all the colors. There's teal and blue and hot pink and like a highlighter yellow color and white and black.
Super happy.
Did I say purple? There's purple in there.
Does she have an Etsy shop? Or
She
does. She
does.
have her own website?
Nope, she's on Etsy,
okay.
and she's Wool Sunday Yarn Parlor. And yes, and I even have it in a Wool Sunday bag.
What?
So, like, I'm all about the Wool Sunday right now. These are my shipments and passports and all kinds of fun little things on there. Another thing that I'm working on, another pair of socks that I cast on for.
How many socks total did you cast on for? Or how many do you have on the needles right now?
Just 2.
Oh, okay.
So that's not ridiculous, right? No.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm still good.
So you have 10 sock knitting hats. Or wait, no, what's it called? Sock head hats.
No, I only have 6 of those.
No, really?
Yeah.
No, I mean, have you on needles?
Oh, no.
I'm like, what? 6 on the needles.
No.
Socks and sock head hats. There's an obsession here. Okay.
No, I have no sock head hat on the needles. Can you believe that?
I do.
Okay.
I'm glad. Otherwise, there's going to have to be an intervention.
It's true. These I'm calling my Autumn Rainbow Socks. And this is Filicolana hand-dyed Arwetta Classic. I'm going to hold that up because that was a mouthful.
Yeah.
There you go. And in the skein, it looks like this. It's turning out a little bit red.
Yeah, it's a lot more blue-gray and, is there green in there? What color is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a rainbow. There's green and orange. There's a little tiny bit of yellow. There's blue, brown.
It's like a fall
rust.
rainbow.
It is. That's why I'm calling it my Autumn Rainbow Socks.
What?
I know! It makes sense, people. And so I am doing these toe up. These are not for Ailish. These will probably end up being for me or for the gift box or for someone. I don't know who. But yeah, and you have to feel it's very soft yarn.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's, I believe, just
soft, but it has some body to it. Or is it just that you're knitting it so small on tight gauge?
Well, I'm not sure. It's 80% superwash merino wool and 20% nylon. So yeah. I think it might just be my gauge. But it feels, just to be honest, these feel like it's taking a long time for some reason. Probably because I've been so busy, I'm knitting on other things. That, you know, like I put like 2 rows on this and I'm like, oh my gosh, was that really only 2 rows?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, I just want to knit something else apparently. So I love the yarn, don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, my focus is elsewhere.
Yeah.
I've been frantically knitting on other things over the past 2 weeks. So one more thing that I've been knitting on, and that is my weight shawl. And I'm so excited.
Wow, it's looking shawl-like now.
It is. Look at my skein of yarn.
Oh yeah, there's been some progress.
I'm down to 62 grams of yarn left.
Starting with how many grams?
Do you
remember?
258 grams, 9.1 ounces. I'm down to it's like 2.2 ounces, which is like 62 grams.
Wow.
And so
well, you really barreled through that.
I have. Yes. Once I started getting closer to the point where I could get ready for the ribbing, for the edging that is the ribbing, or the ribbing that is the edging, however you want to say that, then I became very highly motivated. So
feels like you're getting close to the end.
It does, yeah. So I can't really stretch it out to show you because I have a ton of stitches on this needle, but I can show you. Here's the middle. Can you see that right there? I'm gonna hold it back. I mean, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's gonna end up being a pretty big shawl.
And especially, are you going to block it?
Yes. Now, you don't aggressively block it.
Okay.
The way that Susan B. Anderson, who wrote the Weight Shawl 3, she suggests that you put it in the dryer for a few minutes to let it kind of bounce back a little bit, because I believe, and then you let it air dry. But I don't know if I'll be doing that just because I'm using a different yarn than is suggested in the pattern. So I'll have to think.
Superwash though, right?
No, mine is not superwash.
Oh, I thought you said 80-20, superwash and nylon. What did you say?
No. I did not say what this yarn is.
Oh.
This is the Daisy Knits, which is the nectar base, which is an 85% Polworth, 15% silk.
Got it.
So I don't really know that I would want to put that.
I wouldn't.
In. Can you even see that? Focus.
Poor camera.
I know. My camera. Sorry.
Did you try going to the left a little bit more? There's gotta be a sweet spot.
There is no sweet spot today. I'm sorry. But she is Daisy Knits on Etsy. DAIZIE knits.etsy.com. And as Daisy, DAIZIE on Ravelry. And so, yes. But I really want to get this done. I'm like at that point where it's
you want to get it done because you want it off the needles or because you want to wear it?
Both.
Okay.
I want it. It's a big project, and so I'm ready to have it off the needles, but also I want to wear it because it's starting to be fall out there. I mean, the other day I was getting the kids ready for school and we were standing out there and the kids are all, I've got jackets on the kids, but I am not wearing a jacket at all. And
How did that happen?
It's like 46 degrees outside and I'm not wearing a jacket and I'm in flip-flops.
I know, I was wearing flip-flops too, but I had like long sleeves and flip-flops. That was an odd combination.
It's a good look. It's a good look.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you been working on, Mama?
Well, I have been working on this particular project, which is the Multnomah shawl. I was really debating what to work on next. And let me get, this is an increase stitch, and I don't want to forget to increase. Talk amongst yourselves.
So anyways, I'm going to tell them about our winding adventure with this yarn.
Oh my goodness.
So while you get to a point. Okay, so first, Mom had me pick out a pattern. So I picked out Multnomah because she wanted something that was really easy. And
what a shock, right? Something where I get to knit.
Yes, just lots of knitting and then a little bit of interest at the end. And so I thought, Multnomah. And so Mom pulled out the yarn, which is Malabrigo.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it's Stone Chat.
Yes, I think so too. Multnomah sock, or Malabrigo sock. So she winds up the yarn and immediately it is not playing nicely.
I'll show this while you're talking.
And so then the next day, was it the next day that you came upstairs?
Yes.
And we were watching an episode of Hercule Poirot, and it was still just being a pain in the tushy. And so we ended up having to take it all apart. There was yarn barf in 3 different sections. It was strewn all about the couch, and we're winding from 2 different ends.
And how many hours did we spend total?
It was 2 hours.
It was 2.5 hours because I timed it.
It was 2.5 hours.
It was torture. It was I wonder if it'll still show it. I'm all tangled up now in it. It's just forever going to do this to me. Is it going to do it? It's hard to tell on this one. But what was happening was you could hold out a piece and it was twisting on itself. You can see that. Did you see that take a twist there?
Oh, a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can do it better. Okay. So when you get the yarn close, I've got a fan on, so it's not going to do it. But without a fan on, it gave one twist.
Yes.
And so I'm debating whether or not there's just a little extra twist in this yarn. And so maybe that was why it was so prone to tangling.
Perhaps. I don't know, but that was the most tangly yarn I have ever experienced.
It tangled as I was winding it into a ball to begin with.
Right.
It tangled so badly as I was knitting it between the tail end. The tail kept getting wrapped around the other thing, the lead end. And then I decided I'm just going to wind it into a ball, and then it can't tangle on the tail.
Yeah.
And trying to wind it in a ball, it was tangling.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So I think you ended up breaking it in what, 3 or 4
I have
places?
3 balls now.
Yeah. But you tied them really obviously so that you won't be surprised when you come across a knot.
Yeah. And I don't know if when I actually get to those, I may do a Russian join, which I've talked about before, which is a more invisible join.
Right.
Or the fact that it's garter stitch, maybe it's not going to matter to me. But, I mean, really, I was so frustrated. I thought, I'll deal with it later. I'm just going to tie the knot. But I think I might do Russian join.
I think that's a good idea.
Because that'll be really less obvious, I think. So, if you don't know about Russian join, YouTube it. It's pretty easy. And it basically gives a very secure join, much more so than I feel about magic knots. Magic knots are good, except for certain kinds of yarns don't stay tied as well.
They make me nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't tried one, so I can't really speak to, but I've heard stories about magic knots that make me nervous about doing them.
And I haven't really gotten to the point where I feel like I can execute one with confidence so that I'm sure it won't come undone. But Russian joins I totally get, and they do require using a needle, but I have needles, so that works.
That's crazy.
Let's see. Oh, are we just talking about what we're working on right now?
Well, I'm done with what I'm working on. Do you have other things that you're working on?
Well, I just want to share my finished because I was so excited.
Bring it on.
So I finished Ailish's mitered square blankie.
Yay! Oh, that is so cute. Here.
Now, if you haven't caught past, here, let's do it this way.
Okay.
If you haven't caught past podcast where I talked about doing a mitered square blankie, I'm doing it for Ailish for her plushies. She's not a doll person, but she has cute little stuffed animals and she likes to carry them around like you would a dolly sometimes and have blankets for them. And I thought this would be a perfect way to to learn how to do the mitered square that everybody's loving doing, the mitered square blankets. I think we discussed that Dawn from Wolf Farms is making a cozy for Finland.
Yes. She's really big into charity knitting, and this is one way she's helping out the world.
Yeah, she's going to make sure every country that is cold has a full size, country size.
That's right.
Mitered square blanket.
She's amazing.
But I found it really making me want to go, maybe I do want to do one. The only thing I'm debating is, like if you tackled a mitered square blanket in just chunks like this, so it would be very portable and it wouldn't be like you've got to have the whole blanket on your lap the whole time.
Yeah.
We were thinking it would be like 9 squares like this. To have
at a minimum.
To have something that you could toss over your lap. More like a lap Afghan kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the question is, when I have completed like 4 of these, would I be like scratching my eyes out? I don't know. So yesterday we went to a new local yarn shop, which we'll talk about later. And they had some really beautiful rustic Scottish inspired yarns that were kind of tweedy and looked really natural, and some of them were a little bit crunchy like Fat Squirrel likes. And
more rustic yarns.
Rustic, but they didn't seem harsh.
No.
But I thought, I wonder if it would be enjoyable to do a mitered square blanket out of worsted.
I'm sure
or
you
DK.
Could. I don't think there's any law that says that you have to knit a mitered square out of fingering weight yarn.
The knitting police wouldn't get you.
No.
So anyway, I was so excited. And I don't know that she needs this, but I had fun making it for her. And she's such a wonderful recipient of knitted goods, isn't she? She's so thankful and appreciative. And so I will be so happy to see her open this. And we'll see if I do any more. But it was a wonderfully fun project. It's a great introduction to mitered squares. So maybe you don't have someone who wants to have a blankie for a doll. I could see making a baby blanket size.
Definitely, like car seat sized or.
And I think most mamas would really enjoy getting something like this. The only thing is unless you're doing it out of superwash, you may want to be more sure of your fiber content so that it doesn't get accidentally tossed. Because babies are going to erp on them and do things that babies do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, yay! I was so excited I got it done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You did so good.
Thanks.
I finished some things.
Show me things.
Okay, so the first thing that I finished is I finished my Pretty Pearl spa cloth. As you can see, I did not make it a perfect square because I got bored. And who cares? It's a washcloth.
It's your own pattern and you got bored with it. That really is not good salesmanship.
I know. I'm sorry. You know what I think it is? Yeah, I'm using Peaches and Cream yarn, which is, you know, it's cotton, so it's grabby. And I'm using some Brittany needles, which are wood, which is grabby. And so I feel like I have to fight for every stitch.
Why are you using wood needles?
Because it's what I had.
Okay. Well, I have some metal, so if you're going to do any more, let me know.
Do you? Okay. Well, then I may take you up on that. But I love how it turned out still. I think it's just a really pretty stitch pattern and definitely easy. Once you get the pattern established, especially, you know, you don't need to look at the directions anymore. You can just go off of what you've already done before. So, yes. So
Very
that's
nice.
finished. And that's going in the gift box because that's going to go to one of my kids' teachers for Christmas. I also knit a barley hat for Evan.
You're done with that too. You have been a machine.
I know. What can I say?
That is one I thought about doing for myself, because don't they have that for adults also?
Yeah, it's from like infant all the way up to adult large.
So it's for the family.
Yeah. Now I did.
What were your thoughts?
I love it.
It's super cute.
Yes, Evan picked out the yarn from my stash. This is the yarn that I made Owen's flax sweater out of, which is like kind of like a sibling kind of pattern to this hat because both of them have the garter detail going up the sides on the flax sweater. It goes up the sides of the arm. And so Evan picked out this Cascade 220 Superwash for my stash. It's in like a kind of like a dark forest green color, and I can wear it. So I know I'll be able to wear it.
Yeah, really cute.
I don't have a tiny head or anything. It's just I knit the adult small size for him.
Well, and because of the ribbing, it's very accommodating.
It is.
So that works out nice. He'll be able to wear it for a long time.
He was so excited about this hat.
Was he?
Oh my goodness. Yes. In fact, you know, every night when he would come home from school, he would say, did you knit my hat today? And I was like, well, no, I haven't.
He's like a slave driver. When he gets something in his head,
he is.
He won't forget it until it's done. So
he is. He's like the little whip, you know.
We need to put him in charge of the housework. We'd have a spick and span house.
We totally would. All the time cleaning. All the time cleaning. Have you scrubbed the toilets yet, Mom?
What?
You know what he told me last night?
What did he tell you?
He came in last night in tears in my room as I was getting ready for bed. And he goes, Mom, can I tell you something and you won't get mad? And I was like, sure, yeah, you can tell me something and I won't get mad at you. I said, I love you and I don't want you to be upset. And he goes, in our old house, I dropped your phone into the toilet.
Really? Why was that just coming back to him now?
I don't know, but we've been in this house for almost a year.
So he's been agonizing over it in his little heart, and he finally had to get it off his chest.
He did, and he just started crying, and he was just, and I gave him a hug, and I was like, honey, I love you so much, and you are more important than my phone.
The toilet.
And it's really okay. I said, but you know what? This is why Mom has the rule that you don't take electronics into the bathroom. And he goes, okay, Mama. And you could tell he just like felt so much better, but I was like looking at my phone like, oh.
The Clorox wipe came out.
Exactly. I'm like, which phone was that went into the toilet? Was that my old phone or my new phone? Or
yeah, oh boy. But what a precious heart.
Yes, he wanted forgiveness.
I'm so glad he told you.
I know, me too. I also finished another hat. I made a hat for Ailish out of my hand spun, which is really my first time knitting with my hand spun, like good hand spun that I've made. I knit with
a lot of good hand spun.
Well, okay, I've made some really
You
good
need to
hand
show them so they can enjoy
I've made
it.
some good hand spun, but the only one that I've knit with is my very first hand spun, and so that didn't turn out quite as lovely as this.
It's really pretty.
Yes, this is the Homestead Hobbyist, I believe. And this was gifted to me by Stephanie, who is Hot Pink Socks. And this is a barley hat, but just without the garter detail, because I thought, you know, it doesn't really need
the
extra
yarn is
detail.
textural.
It is.
So it doesn't look like it needs anything.
No. And so I spun this earlier this year, and I'll put it on. This one is more slouchy.
I want that hat, of course, you know.
I know, but it's going to Ailish, and she's already seen it and has claimed it.
Isn't it adorable?
So you can kind of see
I absolutely
the
love
slouch in the
it.
back. And so I am trying to remember, I put my project notes on there.
So
Ravelry.
how did you spin it?
How did I spin this?
Do you remember? Because it's a little bit stripy, so I'm thinking that you must have spun as it came out. Did you break it into...
I did break it.
Mm-hmm. So you break it long ways so that it was long lengths?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Love it. That's how you got your repeats then.
Yes. And
if you spin, for those of you who are not as into spinning, if you have a yarn that has, a fiber that has color progression, and you spin it just as one big chunky braid, you get long migrations of color.
Right.
So instead of having stripes, smaller stripes, you'd have like a chunk of blue and a chunk of red and all that, which is a fun effect too. But by breaking it long ways, you obviously are going to get more repeats of your color.
yes.
So you plan out when you're spinning, you plan just like you do when you're knitting, what kind of a yarn am I hoping to get? Yeah, first you just spin to spin. But
Right.
later on you spin with purpose and say, okay, how would I like this to turn out, or what effect am I going for?
Yes.
That turned out lovely.
Thank you so much. This was such a quick knit. I knit it in like a day and a half. So, and same thing with Evan's hat. His hat was knit up like in a day and a half as well. So,
that's a wonderful
quick.
gift project.
Yes, I would highly recommend it if you are, and it's a free pattern, so that's even better.
Is it free?
It is free.
That's great.
Yeah.
And that, for most people, if you live anywhere near cold weather, that is something that is useful.
Yes.
And some people just enjoy wearing them for fashion statement.
True. And the last thing that I finished this week, this 2 weeks, my Thunder Boom socks. I feel like I need echo. Thunder Boom, boom, boom socks.
That's good.
Thanks. It was realistic, wasn't it?
It was very realistic.
Yeah. Are we in a cave? What? Where are we?
The colors on that are so lovely.
Yes.
Remind me, who made this yarn?
This is Diabolical Yarn. Yarns. I think she makes more than one.
She makes more than one yarn?
She does. And this is the Thunderboom colorway in her sturdy sock base. And these socks are definitely sturdy. They are soft, but they are going to last forever. And I'm so excited because I love them. It's a beautiful colorway with gray and little bits of white and green, a couple shades of green and blue and teal. It's just really such a fun colorway.
Your heels turned out lovely.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I think that's enough.
Yeah. So these will be going into my sock drawer. Brian saw them and was a little bit jealous, and I was like, well, you told me that you had enough socks, so
What?
there you go.
Wait, how dare he say that in his house?
I know.
The basement level does not have that point of view. I did decide I need a better way to do my socks. I had these little wicker baskets where I had my socks folded. And I decided I need the baskets more for something else, so I put them in a larger basket thinking, I'll keep it organized. No.
Sure.
I need a shallow basket where I can have just one layer of socks and not be stacking, because then I rifle through, because of course I want to wear my favorite socks for the outfit I'm wearing.
Of course. That makes sense.
So anyway, that's my next goal, to organize my sock drawer again. You all need to know that.
Of course. Now the next thing that I want to be working on I brought down is for my spinning, which is this lovely.
That is gorgeous.
Right here, which is from the Diamond Bee Sheep Farm, which is Lori Brown out of Greenwood, Arkansas. She's at diamondbeesheepfarm.com. And this is just 4 ounces of merino that I got when we were at Fiber U.
Fiber U. And she also does a fiber event in Arkansas. And I'm not going to remember the name of it. But if you contact Lori Brown at Diamond Bee Sheep Ranch, she can tell you all about it. And that just happened recently. I think it was a weekend or 2 ago.
It was. We missed it. I think it was like October 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah.
So just not
next
that long
year
ago.
We've got to really plan out better, trying to attend a few events. And like there's a spin-in coming up either this weekend, I think, or next. I think it's a statewide spin-in where everybody gets together, and they also have, I think they have things to sell too, and that's in Missouri.
How are we not going to that?
I know, and there's like Jefferson, is it Jefferson City? You know, actually the one that I really need to follow more closely is Tammy Eastburn, who is Darth Knitter. She is the proverbial knitter. When I watch our podcast, I just watch it for the enjoyment of it, but I really need to watch it with my pen and pencil because she's so informative. And she is right on top of all the great events that are happening and usually goes to them. So, you know, there are certain podcasts that you can watch and know that you're going to be able to get a good preview of events. Probably not this one.
We're more for like entertainment value and going like this. What?
Yeah. All the weird antics.
Yes.
We're the Lucy and Ethel of podcasters.
Yes. I'll take it. I'll take it.
But if you live in Missouri and you're looking for events to go to, and actually she attends many other events beside Missouri events.
Oh, yeah.
So
she's very active.
Yes. And she's really good about keeping you apprised of what's going on. So Proverbial Knitter is her podcast, and I know you'd enjoy it. She reviews products, and she's, I have lost track a little bit because I got behind on my podcast watching. So I know she's in her new place.
Yes. Yeah.
And she actually, can I just interrupt this podcast for a aside?
This podcast is being interrupted for a moment for an aside. We'll resume previously scheduled podcasting in one moment.
So, she was so sweet and sent us a fun activity for tomorrow that we're going to talk about in Chit Chat. But we have a new yarn store, and it's the neatest people. They're from Scotland, and I just want to, if you're not a person that watches the Chit Chat part of things, can you stay tuned, because we're going to be talking a little bit about a place that Tammy sent us.
Yes.
If Tammy told you to go somewhere, go, because it's going to be fun.
I don't know what this is,
but I think it's, I mean this.
Okay.
And making a point. Do you know what Owen did yesterday when he was thinking? He does this. When he's thinking. He had to get a shot.
Yes.
He was thinking about it. Anyway.
Yes, and get your flu shots, people. Okay.
Public service announcement.
That's right.
We can start the whole shot debate now, right?
Oh, no. Let's not do that.
All right, what's next?
Don't contact me about shots.
What else is going on in your pile of wonderfulness?
Well, you want to grab what you got yesterday? Do you?
Yeah.
You have that?
We can just go right into that.
Okay. Gilding the Lily. This is the segment where we talk about things that we have brought into our homes, brought into our stash. Even though our stash is beautiful and wonderful, we have gilded the lily. We are making it even better.
Well, then I guess it's a segue, basically, that this is the place that Tammy told us about, and we...
Ta-da!
Oh, my nails look horrible. But finally, there we go. Yay, we figured it out. Obviously, we'll be doing some editing.
You won't have seen much of that.
So we went to Lowlander Knitwear.
Yes.
And this was, Tammy had told us that she had watched, I guess, and heard us talking about the fact we don't have a knit store. And we do now.
We have one that's closer to us.
Yes. And so I was really excited about that, wasn't I?
You were.
So, but I'm going to calm down for a minute. Okay. So, anyway, these people are adorable.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to clip in their picture right here. So
We made a boo-boo.
Well, I made a boo-boo.
And unfortunately in Scotland, that's what we say when we make boo-boos.
Do you? You got to wave at the camera. We have a podcast, so we're gonna talk about you visiting a shop here. We're so glad you're here.
Well, thank you. We're just knitting up some patterns for some classes we're about to kick off. So.
Oh, really? Oh, great.
Yeah. So do you got those knit, crochet, or do both? Or?
I do both.
Good.
I knit.
Mm-hmm. And you said you just knit.
I just knit. Mm-hmm.
Oh, how fun. So you can see how adorable they are. It's a mother and daughter, and they were just charming.
Yeah.
They had the cutest accent.
Yeah, and they were kind of bantering back and forth with each other, which was so much fun to hear. And between the banter and the accents, I love them.
I know, I'm madly in love with them too.
Yeah.
They are delightful people, and I got some things actually.
You did. They're behind you.
Behind me. Okay. First of all, you gotta love somebody who gives you things in a cute bag, a zebra bag. Come on. But I actually got stuff to probably make either a sock head or a night sky hat.
Okay.
But when I saw Alicia's, I want one. Although I really had hoped they had wool for spinning, and maybe that's something we can talk to them about. They've got all sorts of things planned. They're doing yarn bombing.
I love it.
Yes, the first part of November. They have an Etsy shop also. This is the yarn I got, Cervinia. And let's see, it has no color number, color 46.
It's very romantic.
Yes, it's made in Italy. It just looked like it would be a fun hat to wear for a casual day. So I love it. I got 2 of those, and I got a goat soap that they have in their shop that's made by a local woman. I tried it this morning. Lovely.
Yeah?
Goat milk soap. It's not made out of a goat.
No.
It's made out of
That'd
goat
be different.
milk. Goat soap would be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd smell like meat.
Yeah. So now I smell like feta. Not really. Anyway, they were
Feta is better, you know.
As you saw from the little clip I put in there, their shop is delightful. It's really cute, an old house, and they've got a living room for you to sit and enjoy knitting. What are you laughing at?
I smell like feta. I think that's the podcast episode name.
Awesome.
Better than, that's my underwear.
Yeah, really? Where did you find my underwear? Or Flashy the Sparklets Man. All these wonderful names we could have.
So many choices. Which one will we choose?
Blushing again. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it was wonderful. I really like to connect with them. It is a little bit of a drive, so it's not something we could go to on a really frequent basis, but it'd be really fun to connect with them, because I just walked out of there feeling like, oh, I had so much fun.
Yeah. I like to go when Owen isn't with me, so I don't feel the pressure of, Mom, my DS is running out of batteries. Quick, I need the keys to the car so I can plug it in.
Yeah.
Because that didn't make it very enjoyable.
We were really
pressed for time.
We were pressed for time because we had to get back for Cable Guy.
We had to show him our underwear.
She hadn't seen my underwear yet. Everyone must. Of course. I'm going to start wearing my underwear on the outside just to be proactive about it. In case you missed it.
Yeah. It's like Wonder Woman.
It does look like she wears her underwear on the outside.
It does. She can pull it off, though.
She can.
Yeah.
What else?
My Gilding to Lily was this adorable bag that was sent to me by Stephanie, Hot Pink Socks, once again. She sent me an early birthday present, and she made this beautiful bag for me.
So pretty.
Look at how cute. Aren't those pumpkins so happy?
They are very happy. Not scary pumpkins.
No. And so I'm very happy, and I'm going to be finding some sort of project to put inside of it.
Oh, they have to see close. Now that we figured out how to focus. Look.
Yeah.
Very cute. Is there a lining?
It is. There is. It is. Yes.
How cute.
And a note, but that's for me, not for you.
I'm going to read it.
No.
Does it say that she loves me the best?
Yeah. This is really the consolation prize, is what it is. Yeah.
I get her love, you get a bag. Sorry.
Yeah, so that was how my Lily was gilded this week.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
And you know, I just think I feel like when there's a new knit shop, I felt like I had to buy something because I want them to stay in business. We've lost so many, and I really want to see these people be successful.
Yes.
But you don't feel that same compulsion, do you? You're more budget-minded.
No, well, I, had to pay for gas and a copay for the doctor's office. So my budget was like slightly decreased. But
I should have bought something for you.
That you should have.
Next time.
You bought me lunch, so I think that counts.
Awesome.
Yeah. But in any case, I think that's it for the knitting content.
Oh my goodness, it was so fun, wasn't it?
It was fun.
Yeah.
But let me just tell you, we have contest winners to announce.
Yes.
So make sure that you stay tuned and listen for those because maybe you won. And if you won, you need to contact me because I want to send things to you.
That's right. But you know what? If they can't stay, we understand.
Yes.
But you should really because it's a blast.
Hello.
Yes. Thanks for joining us. And stay tuned for part 2 of
the Knitworthy podcast.
Bye.
All right, are we ready to talk about contests?
I think we should. Let's go to the contest.
Are we going to talk about our current contest or the contest winners?
Let's go right to winners.
Okay.
I just think it's fun to... don't we love giving away prizes?
I love giving away prizes.
If I can't win one, can I at least give one?
Yes.
Yeah. It's really...
For sure.
It's the joy of giving, right?
It is. And giving is better than receiving.
Oh boy. I think I'm going to write that in my journal today.
You should. It's a new thought. No one else has ever said that before.
No one's ever said it. I do have a journal too.
You do.
Yeah. So I tell you what, let me go grab that journal.
Okay.
While you talk about winners, because I think I want to share that today and I forgot it.
Bring it on. Okay. So, we have contest winners for the Comfort and Joy Craft Along. And we just, I used random.org to pick, to use their random number generator to pick out winners. And we had 2 prizes. And so our first winner is, we had, I think, 90 people who entered this one.
Awesome.
Yeah, so our first winner is number 39, who is Family Diva, who made hats and a scarf for a missionary, and she wins the yarn prize.
My goodness. Well, Family Diva's been very sweet to us.
Yes, she has. Miss Family Diva, you get the yarn and the handy heart. Is that right? Yes.
She can do more charity knitting then.
She can. Yes.
Isn't that neat?
Yes.
It went to the right person.
It sure did. And the second winner is number 53, this yarn mom, who is making hats for her children. She's made several hats.
Yay.
And this yarn mom, you are going to be receiving this beautiful...
Wait, is she a spinner?
I don't know.
Okay, let's do this. What's her name again?
This yarn mom?
This yarn mom. If you are not a spinner, you can go ahead and hold it up. If you are not a spinner, then when you message Brianne your address, let us know, and we will find another thing for you. Something that will be delightful, but we'll replace it with a actual spun yarn gift.
Okay.
Okay? Because I'd hate to have her get it if she's not a spinner.
Okay.
So I don't think Family Diva spins either, so we can't just swap them out.
No.
So we'll figure out something. At the very least, we can get you a gift card for somewhere. I'll have to look and see where she's from.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll work it out.
All right. So you 2 ladies both contact me, being Brianne, on Ravelry, and I need you to give me your mailing address because I need to get prizes to you.
Yay!
Yay! And then we also have the Diabolical Yarns giveaway, and the winner of that is number 11, who is Pat's Game.
Yay!
And she liked the speckled blue colorway, which I think I looked at it. Gorgeous.
They were all gorgeous, don't you think?
I know. I loved everybody's pick. They, they say, I like this one. And you're like, well, I have to see that one.
Yeah. It's kind of like saying, what's your favorite chocolate? You can't lose.
Exactly.
It's chocolate.
Which one is your favorite child?
Yeah, exactly. You can't choose between your children. They're all wonderful.
That's right.
So it's nice when you win either way.
It's true. So, I need for you, Pat, to contact me on Ravelry so that with your mailing address that I can give that to Rachel at Diabolical Yarns, who will be sending that directly to you. So, yes, yay! I'm so happy for all three of you. And so that's that. Now we have to talk about our October, November, and December
Okay.
giveaway that we're doing.
What ways can we win in October, November, and December?
We are doing such a no pressure along.
No pressure. We should
No
call it
pressure.
no pressure.
The no pressure along. We're calling it Hopeful Holidays.
I like that.
Yes. So all we're doing is tell us about what you are hoping to do this holiday season, what you hope to receive as a gift, what traditions you'd like to start or uphold, anything along those lines. Tell me about your holidays.
And just chit-chatty stuff.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be anything really
And you know, like,
huge and monumental. So if you feel like I don't have anything to say, just get on there and say, "Me like holiday." You do caveman speak if you want to.
that's right. That's right.
It'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, no pressure. I don't, you don't feel the need to, knit up, anything like a house cozy or like.
You don't have to cover Finland like Dawn Wolf does.
That's right. But just, just tell us about what you're
Dawn.
hoping. That's
We're always picking on her.
We are. We love you, Dawn.
Just because we love her.
It's true.
Well, we love him too, but
That's right. James is pretty awesome.
he doesn't knit cozies for Finland, so
No.
he just smelts everything. He's like, he MacGyver stuff. He could
That's
say,
right.
I need a new whatever combustion engine, and he'll say, yeah, I'll whip that up out of
That's
tin
right.
foil and duct tape.
That's right. Hey, James, can you work on nuclear fission for us? And he'd be like, sure.
He would. He probably has already done it several times.
I know.
So he could do a whole podcast on that.
That's right.
So, okay. So do we have prizes picked for the contest yet?
Yes. You may post as much as you like in this. We want you to respond to other people.
Yes.
We want you to
Back
cheer
and
for
forth.
other people.
Post pictures too.
Yeah, lots of posting.
Link to patterns you like, whatever.
And for, but you can only win one time.
Right.
Because for every 100 posts in this thread, then I'm going to add another prize. So the first prize are these beautiful skeins of Lorna's laces. This is Shepherd's Sock in the Andersonville colorway.
And I think what's lovely about these is they are fall-like, but if you're not a person that's into the reds and oranges, it's a way to get blues and greens in fall colors.
Yes.
So I think it's really lovely.
Yes. So the winner will be chosen by random number generator. Once again, that just keeps it fair. And I'm going to close the thread for this one on January 1st of 2016. 2016, people. It's
That's a
coming
lot
up.
of time, so we could really... You said January 21st?
January 1st.
January 1st. Okay, I thought you said 21st.
No.
But that's really
2016.
holding it.
That's the next year.
I can't believe it.
I know.
Okay, so I think we need to have a way to distinguish between, and we could either have people tell us if they would prefer a yarn type gift as opposed to a fiber type gift, or that we need to have a separate thread for people who want spinning gifts, because I think I would love to get fiber, but we don't really have a way of differentiating between spinners and non-spinners.
I only have so many prizes.
Right. So let's put it this way. If on this current contest where we announced winners, if our prize winners did not want a spinning gift, then we will roll that into the next contest. And if you win that contest, you can specify if you would like a spinning type gift or a yarn type gift. Make sense? So when we choose the winner,
Okay.
then when you send Brianne your address, you can say, I would love the spinning gift.
Okay.
Either that, or when we get into 2016, we'll start doing separate contests for spinning content. Because I really love being able to give away fiber. But it is difficult if you're not a spinner.
It is difficult, but yeah.
So
We might have to have, I don't know, we'll talk about it later.
I suppose we don't have to go through everything. You've already heard about my underwear. You don't need to hear about all the behind the scenes.
All right.
So is that it for our contest?
That's it for contests.
Oh my goodness, no pressure. So when things are getting busy and you've got all sorts of concerts and school activities and events coming up, all you have to do is come on and talk.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
That's true.
Yeah, I love that.
So, let's talk about Be Our Guest.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Okay, our guest this week, the delightful Peggy Downey.
We love Peggy.
And she and her husband, Jeff, who she refers to as cute stuff. I love that. She still loves her husband.
We love that.
It's great. And they have a fiber-related business where they do dyeing of yarns and fiber for spinning. They travel and teach extensively. I would say that's their primary business, is traveling and teaching.
Mm-hmm.
As far as their fiber business, I mean, he has a day job too.
Mm-hmm.
And they do lovely things. She does not have an Etsy store, but you can contact her if you see something you like.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever get a chance to take a class from her, make sure you do. She just finished, I believe it was is it Taos?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm awful at this. I think it was Taos, New Mexico.
Okay.
And they do a huge and very popular fiber event there, and she was part of that. So, without further ado, we are going to be introducing you to the lovely Peggy.
Yay!
And here we go.
Of the 100th sheep, and Linda has asked that I go ahead and say a few things about myself. The first question she said was, well, where are you located? And I'm about 13 miles west of Pikes Peak. I get to wake up in the morning, except during the month of May, and see Pikes Peak out several windows of my house, and it's just glorious. We just broke our record for rainfall during the month of May. I think there was one day that we didn't get any rain. So I live in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and we have for almost 30 years and absolutely love it here. My Ravelry name is the 100th Sheep. My Instagram name is the 100th Sheep. And the web address is the 100th Sheep. Do you sense a theme going on here? It's the name of our business that started just out of really reaching out to people. We had a lady in our neighborhood, a young mom with small children. She ended up having pneumonia, and none of us knew about it, and she had been sick in bed for a couple of weeks. And when we found out, several of us felt very bad about it, because we would have gone over and washed and cleaned, made meals for them and everything. And I wanted to get to the point where our neighbors knew each other, and was able to institute just a monthly meeting group for neighbors, especially the women. And that's where I had primarily focused on. So we would get together and visit, and it expanded out of our cul-de-sac, and we ended up getting to the point where we were in a different cul-de-sac, and I brought my knitting that time, working on a sock, and the hostess had a spinning wheel. So I asked her if she could show me how to do it, and she said no, and it just absolutely shocked me. I thought I'd transgressed greatly, and it turns out that she had forgotten how. And so a few months later, we had set up private spinning lessons, and that's where it's gone. The spinning actually almost bucked me off my horse, excuse me, and I despaired ever of being able to finally go ahead and spin a really good yarn. And after a number of years of, still having kids at home, they're older, and then having some pain issues with my low back, after 6 years I was so frustrated, and the words that I would tell my kids for music practice came back to haunt me. And it's just, how can I get better if I'm not willing to put the practice time in? And so that was probably about 2006, and since then I have been forging my own way and just having a blast. And it's grown from making it a chance to meet a neighbor and get to know her better, to a home business, and now I'm teaching. I go to a few other states and sell or teach, and it's just It's been amazing, the journey that God has taken me on. So the dyeing actually came about because of the spinning. It was getting to the point where I wasn't as interested in the colors that I could see that other people were creating and that were out there for sale. And so I had to wait months for it to get warm here in Colorado Springs. We're about 6,000 feet of altitude, and I had to wait and wait and wait to get to take a dye class. And I began playing with Kool-Aid, and then enjoyed my dye class that I'd taken from a local shop owner. And then it turns out that she was teaching us with the English system, and I wanted to take her colors and go from dark and medium down to pastel strength. And she had given us the formulas for it, and I thought her pastels were much more intense than what I wanted. And so if you can imagine taking 1/8 of a teaspoon and trying to figure out how many drops of dye ends up creating that 1/8 of a teaspoon, and I realized then I had to go back to the metric system, which was one of the hardest things I did in 10th grade, switching from English to metric. So absolutely love dyeing. I used to tell people that I was a spinner who dyed, and now I tell people that I'm a dyer who spins. Because of my dye work, I love to keep precise records. I have notebooks of probably almost 2,000 colors now where I can recreate recipes, and just absolutely love the precision. I also tell people that's because I'm a firstborn and that I'm a reforming perfectionist. And I just found that that helped me a lot when I wanted to go ahead and recreate a color. When I saw so many friends who would do their serendipity dyeing, like what they ended up with, but then could never recreate. And I hear a puppy that wants to come in, so we're going to pause. Dog. Hi, dog. Say, hi, Linda. I miss your peanut butter hands. Okay. As far as doing the dyeing and seeing how my friends were struggling with their subsequent serendipity, they learned the value of being able to use my recipes, and I have learned since then the value of being able to combine colors and end up with some beautiful things. I dye for Trinway silks, and that's a tremendous amount of measuring and having to dye lengths of silk in just certain increments, and it can become very taxing at times. And so I've learned that it's wonderful to be able to cut loose and go ahead and just mess around with color. So that's how I got started with my spinning and my dyeing. I'm supposed to tell you about my favorite yarn that I love to spin, and I think sometimes it's probably whatever I'm learning. And currently at this point in time, I have been enjoying crepe yarns, and I've got 3 different samples here of crepes, and I've just literally fallen in love with them. So this is a chain plied crepe, this one is a slubble crepe, and then this one is a bubble crepe. And what I've just found with it is not just fascinating with the technique, but how I can play with color. And I can take something that if I were to spin it as a straight singles would end up really becoming quite muddy and visually uninteresting. This one has a lot of colors in it with violets and oranges and actually some yellows and purples in there, and those colors should all just kind of go blah once you spin it. But with this chain plying technique for the crepe, it just makes it very sophisticated and elegant. So crepe yarns are where I have landed for a while, and we'll have more pictures of those later. As far as some of my favorite colorways, probably another one of those things of it's whatever I'm working on currently. And because I had to choose, I couldn't do just one, so I apologize. This one is probably, I'm going to say, my second favorite. This is Antique Rose, and I was trying to create a certain colorway, and my colors had turned out slightly different, but I realized just how beautiful this was. And so I've really enjoyed this, even though I'm not an earthy kind of person. Some people really love the earth tones like Linda does, and I tend to go for more of the clear, cooler colors. I would have to say at this point in time, this is probably my favorite colorway, and it's more or less because of that color there, that lovely aquamarine type color. And this one is Monhegan Island. And I just love the beachy colors, the deep color of the waves, the water that would be coming in, the sunlight playing, and just absolutely love this. And one day I hope to have some time to actually spin what I dye as far as a specific colorway. The classes that I teach, I'm just going to make it really simple and say it's spinning and it's dyeing. So I will take and do retreats, teach workshops, things like that. And I've actually hosted people in our home and in our studio, and we just have a lot of fun getting to play around in the dye kitchen, things like that. And I'll do whatever you'll want, and if I don't know it, I tend to try to learn it. And spinning, we do all sorts of different things, and I base that on the ability levels and what people like to do. The events, though, where I'm found are places, well, in about 2 weeks, we're going to be up at the Estes Park Wool Market, which is in Colorado. It's a big regional show. And I also do the Taos Wool Festival down in Taos, New Mexico. And let's see, oh, I get to come to Missouri probably about once, sometimes twice a year, and I get to do fiber days. And this year I'm going to be teaching a spinning retreat for the Southwest fiber folks of Missouri, and they've become my family. Absolutely love those people. So those are just some of the places that I go to on a regular basis. I've got other groups and states that have been looking at me, but we haven't quite made it out to the East Coast yet. And I've got somebody who wants me to come to Michigan, and I think it was North Dakota. So we're going to have to see how this all works out, but it sounds like fun. So all sorts of things that I love to do. I can't do this without my husband, Jeff, so I think it's important that he's recognized too. And the reason I'm moving around is because our rescue puppy has come up for attention. So Latte loves to come and be a part of things, as long as there aren't other people around, because she still gets a little scared. But she does like Linda. When Linda came out back in April, she did something I'd never seen somebody do, and that was take peanut butter, smear peanut butter on her hands, and Latte loved her hands. So she's taken the place of having small children in our life. So if there's anything you ever want to ask about, if I have, you would just need to contact us through our website. Just send an email. And I think it's Peggy at the 100th Sheep if you want to write and ask questions. It's pretty much mostly me here at the studio. So when I'm working for Treenway or getting ready for a festival, things can get a little bit intense around here. But I love to be able to work with the color and the texture of fibers, and I'm so grateful for just the journey that God has brought me on. Thanks for listening, and if you ever come to an event that we're at, let me know that you saw it on Linda's podcast. Thanks. Bye.
Yay, Peggy! Good job. Thank you so much for sending in your video. We really appreciate you doing that for us and for telling us a little bit more about yourself.
Yes, be sure and check out Peggy Doney, the 100th Sheep, online. You can visit them at 100thsheep.com, and that might be the 100th Sheep. I'll put it here.
It is the 100th Sheep, yes.
The 100th Sheep.
And I'll link to it in our show notes, which are at knitworthypodcast.com.
Great. Go there and get the links to connect with Peggy. She's also on Ravelry some. She's mostly on Facebook.
Yes.
Where she has a Facebook group page.
Yes.
Facebook page, I think it is. So anyway, thanks for thanks. Niner.
Florgan.
Thanks for participating is what I meant to say. Wow, I'm all over the place today, aren't I?
It's all right.
So, you're reminding me that wonderful quote that you gave me that I want to put in my journal.
Yes.
Which I'm all about journaling, and I'll go into it on another podcast when we don't have as much going on. But I did want to show you. I am taking a class that I heard about on Instagram.
Okay.
And it's Creative Lee. I'll put that here. Lisa is her name, and she is offering a free class for 31 days. It's not too late to join. It's the month of October, where you can learn to love your lettering. That's what it's called.
There you go.
And so she recommends all you need is a composition book. Well, you don't even have to have a composition book, but it needs to be on this, I call it graph paper. Is there another name for it?
It just says graph ruled.
Okay, graph ruled paper. And this is what she recommends. Because current graph ruled notebooks are a bit thin on the paper, she recommends you washi tape the pages together, but you don't have to do that.
Tape.
Yeah, any excuse for washi tape for me. But she recommends that you put the pages together. Now you could do that with just simple tape on the side or staples, or you could just skip pages if you don't want to have that expense. Hubby bought this book for me, and it cost a little over $2.
Okay.
You need a black pen, and she'd like you to have a pencil for some things, but you don't have to have a pencil. And each day she posts a lesson, and then she has catch-up days so that you can have time to catch up. Now I've done a lot because I've done a lot of practicing. What a shock. I obsess on it, right? And you start out, the first lesson is just to write something in your natural writing.
Okay.
And so it's so simple. And then you go on, and she teaches you, you do it in print, and you do cursive, and she shows you little things that you can add to your writing. Now we're getting into adding little doodads to our writing. I love the Enjoy Life one. I'm writing things just to practice now. I started doing quotes in here just to kind of get a feel for it. And anything that you're not getting the hang of, I just keep practicing it. And then yesterday's lesson was on calligraphy and typography, and it's not using a calligraphy pen, but it's weighting your letters so that they appear to be like calligraphy. And that's as far as I've gotten. And so I highly recommend that you check out her class. You still have the month of October. The lessons, I would be surprised if it takes you more than 10 minutes to complete a lesson, because she's a busy mama. She homeschools, and she does this on the side. She's an artist, and her lettering is gorgeous. And she really just teaches you how to take your own lettering and tweak it so that, and what are the elements that make a writing more decorative and beautiful. And it's just a simple thing. If you've ever wanted to be able to write more beautifully, I was thinking even just for someone who wants to be able to write a card more beautifully, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And since I'm doing more journaling, I thought it'd be really nice to be able to, you know, have it not look like chicken scratch when I'm done. So if you write like a doctor, try the Love Your Lettering class on Creatively, and it's free. And then, of course, because I obsess, there was a YouTube video of a girl who does a lot of lettering, and she was recommending a new pen, and I've been trying it out, and oh my goodness, how fun is it? You know me and office supplies.
She loves some people. What can you say?
I do. So here is the new pen that just arrived. I'm just trying to, I got something on here.
That doesn't take long.
So it is called, let's see if I can get the words in there first. The Coletto. Okay, and it is, if you were of the generation in the 70s, I'm guessing, we had the pens that had several inks in them, but they were so big it was hard to write with them. This one, you can get 10 colors, okay?
Oh, how cool.
Yes, and they flip out super easily. So 10 colors, so we've got light blue, dark blue, red, pink, orange, black. I got this on Amazon. And this is not the finest, but the next finest. It is a very fine tip pen. If you do not like fine tip pens, you will not like this, but I love fine tip pens. There's a little divot here that you stick your finger into and flip it like that. And this is how easy it is to change colors.
How neat.
And it's made by Pilot, I believe. Is that what it said? Pilot. I'm gonna see, did I show this one? So it looks like a Japanese version. See, it's the 0.4. That's the size of the refills. So I thought it would be so fun for journaling to be able to have some color choices. Also, if you're a planner person, I could see this being really good for being able to differentiate between appointments for different kids or different kinds of things. So that is my cool tool for the day.
Cool tool for the day!
It does need a theme song.
It does.
So let's see. We did our shout out to Tammy.
Yes.
Who is the proverbial knitter.
Yes.
We did a meet our guest, or be our guest with Peggy Doney from the 100th Sheep.
Yes.
We talked about the lovely knitwear shop, which is
Lowlander Knitwear.
Lowlander Knitwear, that's also on Etsy.
Yes.
And they have Outlander things going on there, if you're an Outlander fan. Was there anything else that we were supposed to cover that we haven't done yet? Is that it?
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great.
It's been so much fun.
I'm going to also put, because I don't want the podcast to be any longer, I'm going to put some pictures that I've been working on this week in my art. I have art.
She's an artist, y'all.
I'll put some of those at the end, so if you're curious about what's been going on in my brain, you'll be able to see that.
I've looked, it's not scary.
It is a little scary.
No, it's not. No. I promise.
The dogs are good today.
They were.
So I guess it's time.
It is time.
I hate it when it's time.
I know. But we've got to get to editing.
It's time to edit.
And uploading. Otherwise you can't watch it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Other steps.
Thank you so much for joining us. If this is your first time, this is what we're like.
This is it. This is for better or worse.
That's right. If you have stuck with us and this is, your third, fourth, 100th, well, not 100th, but whatever, time watching us, then we're so glad that you came back, and we just are so thankful for you, and thank you for all your encouraging messages and notes and little shout outs and things like that. We appreciate them, and we just want you to remember, until next time we see you, that you are knitworthy. Bye. Bye, y'all. Okay, Evan, what are you going to do?
Rules of the classroom.
All right, let me see.
Rules of the classroom. Rule number 1. Follow directions quickly. Rule number 2. Raise your hand for permission to speak. Rule number 3. Raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. Rule number 4. Make smart choices. Rule number 5. Make your dear teacher happy by doing your job.
You know all the rules?
Mama, can you send that to Miss Round?
Yes, I will. Good job, Betty.